Every founder dreams of building a unicorn, but what if your billion-dollar startup was built on nothing? This is the story of Wirecard, the fintech startup that didn't just fake it till they made it. They faked it all the way to a $24 billion valuation. As if that wasn't crazy enough, one of the key players fled to Belarus in a real-life spy thriller that even Hollywood couldn't write. Wirecard wasn't just another tech startup, it was the poster child of European fintech. Finally, a German success story in a landscape dominated by Silicon Valley. Founded in 1999, Wirecard promised to revolutionize digital payments. And for years, it seemed like they were doing just that. Investors poured in billions, but behind the scenes, the foundation was cracking. In this video, I'll go through the visionary or villain behind it all and how it all came crashing down. Wirecard isn't just about fraud. It's a masterpiece in how pressure to deliver explosive growth can corrupt even the most promising companies. As you build your own startup, this cautionary tale might just save you from crossing lines you can't uncross. Markus Brown wasn't just any CEO. He wanted to be Germany's Steve Jobs, with the signature black turtleneck and slick presentations. Brown sold investors on a vision of seamless global payments, a fintech empire that would rival the biggest banks. By 2018, Wirecard was worth more than Deutsche Bank. He was an Austrian computer scientist and joined Wirecard in 2002. He quickly steered the company toward ambitious expansion. Under his leadership, Wirecard aggressively acquired small payment companies in Asia and the Middle East. This fueled rapid growth on paper, but few questioned the legitimacy of these deals. To Brown, growth was everything. He often spoke about Wirecard's potential to become the dominant player in digital finance. Wirecard sold the story of unstoppable growth. Acquisitions across Asia, expansion in the Middle East, and whispers of a futuristic payment tech. Investors couldn't get enough. But inside the company, something was off. Every founder knows the pressure to show numbers, but Wirecard's profits seemed almost too perfect. Wirecard claimed to have partnerships with major airlines, global retailers, and even governments. They announced bold plans for blockchain projects and AI-driven payment systems. But few of these innovations really materialized. But it didn't matter. The market didn't care. Wirecard's stock price continued to increase. The startup world cheered them on as Germany's great startup hope. Wirecard wasn't scaling like a normal startup. Profits appeared out of nowhere, and margins seemed a little bit too good to be true. And it was. Much of Wirecard's business didn't really exist. The numbers, pure fiction. And like all good cons, it worked. Until it didn't. Wirecard's financials told a story of unstoppable growth. Year after year, they reported record-breaking profits. But investigative journalists at the Financial Times noticed inconsistencies. Wirecard claimed huge revenues from clients in the Philippines and Dubai. Clients that nobody had ever heard about. To sustain the illusion, Wirecard created fake subsidiaries and funneled imaginary transactions through them. Auditors flagged discrepancies. Brown and his COO, Jan Marsalek, we'll come back to him, brushed it all aside, calling them misunderstandings. Meanwhile, Brown kept buying shares in Wirecard to project confidence, reinforcing the illusion that everything's fine. Marsalek was a mysterious, a shadowy figure who rarely appeared in public, but wielded immense power inside Wirecard. Known for his very extravagant lifestyle, Marsalek was the behind-the-scenes architect of Wirecard's most dubious operations. He was reportedly obsessed by secrecy and surveillance, often bragging about his intelligence connections. While Brown fronted the company, Marsalek handled the operations, especially the questionable deals that inflated Wirecard's balance sheet. When the fraud investigations intensified, Marsalek disappeared overnight, leaving Brown to face the fallout alone. In 2020, Wirecard's auditors uncovered the truth. 1.9 billion euros were missing from their account. Wirecard claimed the money was held in the Philippines, but auditors found nothing but empty folders. The revelation stunned investors. Wirecard initially blamed rogue employees, but that excuse quickly fell apart. Brown held emergency press conferences, insisting that the missing funds were real, but when auditors flew to Manila, they found no trace of the money. And Brown was arrested. But the biggest twist is yet to come. Marsalek's escape would become legendary. Wirecard's stock price collapsed overnight, wiping out years of growth in a matter of days. But while Markus Brown faced the music, one key player slipped away into the shadows, Jan Marsalek. In the days following the scandal, Brown was arrested in Munich. Cameras captured the moment when he was led away in handcuffs. His carefully curated public image was shattered, but Marsalek's escape reads like a page in a spy novel. He boarded a private jet, leaving no digital trace. He didn't just disappear, he erased himself from the map. Reports later suggested that Marsalek first fled to Moscow, using a network of covert operatives to bypass security checks. From there, he vanished into Belarus, where Russian intelligence agency may have provided him with a safe harbor. It wasn't just a corporate scandal anymore. Marsalek's ties to intelligence circles raised suspicions that Wirecard's operations were part of something bigger. Marsalek's journey to Belarus wasn't by accident. He held deep connections with figures in Eastern European intelligence, and there were whispers that he had long-standing relationships with operatives in Moscow. When it became clear that Wirecard was collapsing, Marsalek's escape was already in motion. Witnesses reported seeing him in Minsk, but despite international warrants and Interpol red notices, Belarus refused to extradite him. His whereabouts still remains unknown to this day. But many speculate that Marsalek is living under the protection of Russian or Belarus intelligence agencies, an untouchable fugitive beyond the reach of European authorities. Wirecard and the escape made Marsalek one of the most wanted men in the financial world. His ability to vanish in plain sight raised serious questions. Was Wirecard not just a fintech fraud, but a smokescreen for deeper geopolitical games? The fallout for Wirecard's fraud was massive. German financial watchdog BaFin came under intense scrutiny for ignoring multiple warning signs. Despite whistleblowers and investigator reports, BaFin failed to act decisively, instead siding with Wirecard and even pursuing journalists raising red flags. The Wirecard story is more than just a cautionary tale. It's a lesson for every founder chasing growth. Scaling too quickly without questioning the fundamentals can lead to catastrophic consequences. Brown liked the growth that Marsalek delivered, but didn't question if it was real or not. For founders, Wirecard serves as a warning of the dark side of startup culture. The pressure to show constant growth can push companies to blur ethical lines. Brown and Marsalek's pursuit of endless expansion created one of the most infamous corporate frauds in history. In the end, Wirecard's legacy isn't just about fraud. It's the fine line between ambition and deception. There is some deception in all startups. We constantly sell the idea of constant growth. If you're ever tempted to inflate a metric or oversell your product's capabilities, remember, the greatest startups aren't built on stories. They're built on substance. Every shortcut you take today could be tomorrow's undoing. Let me know if you like this video and if there are other crazy startup stories I should cover. And make sure you check out my other videos on startup failures. I've done a few. We've done WeWork, Quibi, Nikola, and more. Go check them out. Now stop watching and go build something real.